We work by referral, and as long as we can keep our heads down working for you and referrals come in, that's how this all works out.
How do you guys manage this kind of marketing, communication, asking for referrals, like kind of some of this classic stuff that everybody wants to know is, okay, we've got the CRM, we've got the email newsletter, we got calls, pop buys. What do you guys do? Kind of how do you summarize that with 900 households and a lot of people?
Yeah, it's always a lot. Colby is typically preparing 70 to 90 annual reviews a month. We're typically sending out 50 to 80 birthday cards a month. And that's one other thing that I want to say. The consistency is everything, right? We have done these things every single month for the past couple of decades. And that's the secret sauce. There's no one thing that we do where people are like, oh, I've never heard that before. It's just that we actually do it, right?
Yes. I was talking to Lisa just a couple of weeks back and I said, Lisa, what's the difference between you in this topic of database and all the other agents who are not as successful? And it's exactly what you just said. She said, if I commit to it, it will be done and it will now live in the business. And my friends, too many of you, I'm going to try that out. Oh my God, I'm going to try out a Care Bear. I'm going to try out annual reviews. I'm going to try out events. No, what are you committed to? What's your model? Once you commit, it's all in, get it implemented. And now it's a reoccurring thing that happens in your business every year. And that is the difference that I see, Lisa, between those of you that are wildly successful with your database and those that are continuously underperforming. Can you walk us through a little bit about what these components are and how that works? And we can just do a little broad stroke, because I agree with Lisa, none of these things are new. They're just happening consistently. So go ahead and share a little bit about what the marketing communication plan looks like.
Yeah, so Lisa did a great job of touching on a lot of the things that we do. And she's right, it's the boring stuff. It's the boring stuff that nobody wants to do consistently that gets the most results. And we see it time and time again when folks come back around, they'll say, thank you so much for remembering my birthday every year. I've really loved getting those things. Or I've so appreciated a review that comes every single year to help me keep up with what my house is worth. They appreciate it even if they don't say it at the time. And so on the back end, what that looks like is, now this is a little bit different. Every single CRM that I've seen has a place for a birthday. Mm-hmm. If it's a real estate based one, there's usually a place for a annual review date. Mm-hmm. And then utilizing those dates, setting tasks in your CRM in some way to make sure that on whatever date you choose, I know some people do them yearly, we do them on the anniversary, right? That just is a simple way for us to keep track. And then do them, get it on the calendar. Make sure that those calendar appointments you make are appointments with your business, with yourself, and they don't move. They have to happen. And you treat them like that time and time again. The client-based ones are much easier to set up in that way. Then there are things that we'll do as a team, right? So our email newsletters that go out once a month, that again is on the calendar every single month, reoccurring appointment, one for creating the email, one for reviewing the email, one for sending the email. Mm-hmm. It's just a simple process of formulating that and repeating it over and over again.
Yeah, and you guys have one high quality one from the company, which has provided a really good one. And then you guys added an additional one from you guys. So it's two.
Yeah, that's right.
That was your recommendation, and the people love this one. Yes. In case you missed it, people really love that one. So thanks for that.
Yeah, love it.
And then on top of that, we do transaction-based stuff as well. So in the first year of ownership, there are a few extra touches that buyers will get that we promise them. We communicate what their expectations should be, and then we meet those expectations, which I think is another key part of what we do, is that we're always very clear in our communication about what folks can expect from us, and then we deliver on those and always try to over-deliver on them.
That point right there is bigger than most people understand. So it didn't make sense to me after I helped a buyer to purchase a home and I hand them the keys. Even for me, I was like, what is this relationship now? And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And what should they expect? And how is this going to go? And so I think most agents do not take time to define what that new relationship is. They bought a home with you. Now with this next 12 months, what should they expect from you? What's the communication? What questions? When should they call you? Why should they call you? And then why are we going to call them? So do you guys have a little bit, can you share a little bit about how that works? Because I'd just be curious what that kind of looks like for you.
Yeah, so we're talking about it in the initial consultation, right? Like, where, hey, all of our business comes to us by referral. So we never specifically ask for referrals, but it's very clear in how we communicate certain things. That is how we work, right? So that initial consultation, I'm usually asking someone when they come in, what, if anything, do you already know about me or the company or how we do business? And almost everybody says, oh my gosh, you've worked with 8 of my friends. I heard you're a great negotiator. I hear you throw great parties. I hear you work by referral. These are things that are being passed around. And even if they bring it up, I say that's awesome. We love relationships and we work by referral. And as long as we can keep our heads down working for you and referrals come in, that's how this all works out. So we're talking about that early on. And then of course it comes up throughout the transaction in various ways without saying, hey, if somebody wants to buy or sell a house, we don't ever do that. And at closing, right? We say, oh, great. We come with the house. We tell them that. When closing's done, we come with the house. Sometimes we make a joke about having a room set up for us, but really we're going to be in touch about the homestead exemption. We're going to be reaching out when the actual property tax values are set at the end of the year. We offer up the annual review. So we give them a little call us for anything. You're going to get junk mail. Send us a picture. We'll tell you if it's important. So we talk about those things, right? And with specific scenarios so they understand, oh, this happened, I can call on Lisa and her team because she mentioned this.
Yes. Yeah. That's establishing clarity around what the relationship is. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I would say that we also reward the behavior from our clients that we like to see from them. So part of that is when they do reach out, we're very intentional about responding to them quickly and making sure that they know that's exactly what we're here for and that we're happy to answer whatever questions about really anything that they have. And that's one way of that. Another way is for all of our referrals, we are very intentional about thanking them for their referrals and just again like positive reinforcement for that behavior that we want to see from them.
Is there any kind of in the how you do that? So I send you guys a referral, whether I'm an agent or a client or a friend. Is kind of what have you guys tinkered with over the years? Is there anything specific?
Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about this. For so many years, someone would send us a referral, a big referral, and our system was that they would get a $10 Whole Foods gift card. And that was just on autopilot for like way longer than it should have been. Like $10 doesn't even buy you a juice at Whole Foods. And finally, I was like, oh man, people are giving us these great referrals, but it didn't matter, right? Someone's not referring you because of what you're giving them. But so we've tinkered, like we'll go back to the homework and now we try to, if we know that you're into bird watching or something like that, we may get a hand-blown hummingbird feeder. So that's where the Care Bear comes into play.
If you haven't already and you want to watch the full episode, make sure you click right here and get the 41-minute epic episode with Lisa and Colby. And if you want to watch more about how to do more referrals and build relationship business, check out Zach Nelson's interview right here. And then if you haven't already, please make sure you jump down and get on my email newsletter and check out any of the sponsorship links down below. That just supports me creating more great content. Appreciate you doing that.